Hey Connor, hello. Let me switch tabs. Switch tabs, close all of the porn. There we have it. All right. Ah. Oh, Twitch dashboard instantly died after I opened it. Let me refresh it. Okay. Get cred when you share a viral clip. Dismiss. Okay. Oh. Ah. Yep. Hi everyone. I'll just chill a little bit, maybe compile this, maybe even run it. Yep. Oops. Oh. How long did you stream until people started tuning in with any sort of consistency? So in my case, it's a very hard to answer question. So because I did my very first streams in 2016, so like 10, almost 10 years ago, and I did just like 2 streams. I just streamed some like programming in Python. And I mean, nobody showed up, right? Yeah, it's just like a couple streams. Then I stopped. I never streamed again until 2020. And in 2020, I started streaming Hollow Knight speedruns, so not programming at all. And nobody really watched that until a certain point when I kind of started getting good at the game. And then, yeah, when I started like getting better at the game and found some friends in speedrunning community, people started showing up. And yeah, at some point I started like holding world records, and then a lot of people started watching me, so like to 200 or something like that. And this is where I got my Twitch partner status. Then the war started. I kind of had to drop this whole shit. Then I streamed a little bit more in like 7 months or something like that. uh then I like stopped again because family. I had like a kid and stuff like that. And then I kind of pivoted into streaming programming. And when I started streaming programming again, nobody would watch me. Nobody would watch me because, all of my following was from speedruns, right? All of my back then it was like 3,500 people on Twitch. Yeah, they were in there for like gaming. And since I started doing programming, nobody would watch it anymore. And then, I mean, slowly, like little by little, some programming audience grew again. So yeah, it's hard to say when, because I started and stopped streaming multiple times. Well, I guess programming audience appeared maybe last winter. Like last winter, I started streaming programming like somewhat consistent, and I streamed for 2 months. I streamed for 2 months, and yeah, people started watching me. Then I dropped streaming programming because, like, I found like some like a new job, and again, like family, and my wife got pregnant again, so blah blah blah. I kind of stopped streaming for another like 4 to 6 months, and now I started streaming again. And it's like, if I look at the graph, it kind of climbing up again a little bit, probably because I'm streaming pretty consistently, right? Oh, hey, Lep. Hello, hello. A great lurk. Maybe until I start crashing out on some bullshit. But yeah, hello, hello. Hope you're doing okay. See, I hope it answers your question. So it's not like, oh, people started watching me on November 7th, 1992, so it's not like that. And hey, Mil, hello. My PB, I actually don't remember at this point. So last speedrun of like Hollow Knight that I uploaded was over 3 years ago at this point. And so I genuinely forgot. It was 112% speedrun. It was 3 hours, like 8 minutes or 7 minutes and something seconds. I forgot. At this point, like 3 years later, it's not even in top 10 anymore, and it was world record. You understood what I was asking. Okay, okay. So yeah, hopefully the answer will suffice. Yeah. And if we look, what was the site to check streamer stats? Was like Twitch stats? Twitch stats. Oh, it's Twitch tracker. Yeah, Twitch tracker. Oh shit, it's down. I think it's down. It doesn't work. No, it works. So let me pop it off. If we found myself. "21 average viewers." I thought it would be less. So there should be like a graph here if the site actually loads. I think it might be cooked. Do you have any experience with X Composite extension? No, I actually don't. Yeah, same. I actually don't do it for money, even though at the beginning of 2022, I kind of started making some money off of Twitch. There was like 2 months in a row where I was able to pay like half of my rent with purely Twitch money. So it was about like $200, like just from, well, Twitch tracker doesn't work, but there would be, if you look at the graph, like around 2022, there was like whoop, a big growth just before the war, and then it all went downhill since then. But yeah. So streaming is very fun when you don't try to make it like a real thing, you know what I mean? When you don't have to be constantly stressed about, oh, how do I be entertaining? How do I engage with the chat? How do I like schedule my ad breaks without all this crap? Especially now because Twitch. So recently, Twitch added some rules how it counts viewers, and basically now lurkers, so people who do not type in the chat, they just don't count anymore for the purpose of statistics. So a ton of streamers who, like a lot of streamers who were like at 50 viewers, like dropped to 20, 25. There were like streamers who were at like 100 viewers, like partner numbers. They would drop to like 30 and stuff like this, right? I actually haven't really noticed it myself, mainly because I stopped streaming for a long time. And so when I started, I kind of need to climb the ladder again, you know what I mean? Hey, Quarks, hello, hello, hello. Thank you, thank you. Um, what's up? Welcome to the stream. So yeah, I actually, if I recall correctly, maybe last winter more people watched me, but I don't know. I try to not don't look at the I try to not look at the stats too much because I mean there's really no point for me to do it, right? Because I don't really try to um I don't really try to increase the numbers at least artificially. But if you want to just stream programming to as some kind of like accountability thing, just when you're being watched, you're more likely to work. It helps a lot. Keyboard input, excellent. Now you can see yet another example of why Linux desktop isn't happening. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hey, Alex. Welcome, welcome. Oh, I mean like a debug keyboard input for this program, right? So now if I grab the inputs, but I just print them to console from an input handling thread. And I want to like display them. So I drew a button and I tried to like draw some ribbons, or not ribbons, like corners, but they look awful. Let me comment it out. So left corner, right corner. Let me delete it. Looks like shit. Fuck. Wait a second. I need to fix this bug when I restart my program too soon after it died. It like all of the inputs haven't gotten like a chance to get ungrabbed, and I try to grab them again when they're like in a dirty state or something. And because of that, I start spinning into like infinite log error loop. And because I still have like a condition race, like multi-threading, like condition race in my logger, it will lock itself up. So I need to fix that. Just did raw input for Windows keyboard. I might need to port my game to Linux. Are you using fdev, or what is the thing? Yes, I am using fdev. So fdev is a kernel subsystem to directly read inputs from how do you call it? From device file descriptors, right? Because everything is a file on Linux. But in a game, you usually don't do it because if you want to do it in a game, you must require a user who plays your game to be in an input group, right? So if you want a user to be able to play your game with this kind of raw inputs, so directly from the kernel, hey Ahmed, hello, the user must be in an input group. It's for security. It is for security because this means a user being in an input group, it means that any process that's run under this user gets access to a keyboard globally. So you know how on Win32 API, you have low-level keyboard hooks that, you know, you can just launch a straight up fucking keylogger, right, on Windows, and it's like completely unrestricted. So yeah, Linux kind of prevents that by imposing this input group restriction. And some distributions, they don't assign this input group by default to the user because the way it works is that on top of the kernel, there is a bunch of like user space kind of common libraries. So for example, libinput is the one. And when your when your operating system starts, there would be some kind of how they call like init system. So like systemd, for example, it would grab these inputs and assign a seed like to libinput, and then your desktop environment actually feeds input from this like seed. So like your desktop environments have rights to the input, but your user by default doesn't. So you can't launch keyloggers. If Steam Deck, actually Steam Deck probably does all of that by default. You know why I think so? Because when you install Steam installs like its virtual controllers, and it actually adds your user not to the input group, but it assigns you input permissions to the user so that virtual controllers work. And also, I think Steam Deck exposes inputs from like it's like either SDL or whatever it is. But if your goal is not to have a native Linux port, but just to make your game Steam Deck verifiable, you don't have to care about any of that. You just can do regular Win32 API and let like Wine handle that on Steam Deck. probably with some minor adjustments. After Steam Deck like after Steam Deck happened and Valve like paid a lot of money to Wine Project and forked Proton. Like, I think people just stopped doing native Linux builds. It's just because literally programming your games along not along but how do you against Steam runtime is just way more stable than whatever like bullshit every distro does. Hey Rustam Bek, hello, welcome. Yeah, I'm fine, I'm fine. Hope everybody been fine as well. And yeah, with that said, if you want native Linux build, um, most likely you will program either against X11 server, so get inputs from it, or maybe against like against Wayland Compositor. In case of Steam Deck, it's a Wayland Compositor. It's an analog of getting inputs from like Win32 like virtual key codes, kind of the same shit. And you don't really, so it might sound counterintuitive before I move on, but you probably don't want to read raw device inputs on Linux because of shitty hardware drivers. That's why. A lot of distributions use libinput on top of the kernel specifically because libinput handles a lot of faulty hardware drivers. So they would literally have for keyboards, mouse, like touchpads and stuff like that, they would have like special quirk rules that would fix, like chatty keys or like some dead keys or some like touchpad like flickering and mouse like wobbling and all this crap. That's why everybody pretty much standardized against libinput on Linux. Yeah, and that's actually why in my program I also decided to use libinput just because of that. I don't know how big of a deal it is in practice, but that's kind of seems to be consensus. No. Libinput only handles like keyboard and mice. It doesn't handle controllers at all, and you can't write to the device through libinput. If you want to write to the device, not just read from the device, it's like a completely different kernel system that's called uinput. So it's like virtual input. Linux uinput. It's like a completely different kernel module. This is for writing inputs. I mean, you can write back to the device descriptor. You can. And it is gonna work. It will just conflict with the inputs that you're reading from it. So that's why usually if you want to write to a virtual device, you will open a dev input device, you will assign it to be like a controller, like a virtual controller or keyboard or mouse, and you would write into that. And this actually Steam handles. So if Steam is installed on the target computer, you can assume with pretty big confidence that this will be just available. Let me actually show it to you. So Vim, is it like lib udef? Yeah, you see, there's like udev rules. So udev is kind of system in Linux that gets you like assigned to hardware, blah blah blah. And there's like 60 Steam input rules. So this gets installed together with Steam, and it would have like uinput. There you go. So Steam literally installs a correct input rules for virtual controllers, and then it creates like a bunch of heat devices. Yeah. Side note, the Merita Ray Band is the best AR device out there. Huh. I almost died because I read that fucking lizard. Yeah. Dude, but what if you break the device? Come on. Programmers can't be trusted with that. Whew. But yeah, there you have it. Like this is Linux input handling. Like I don't know, not really 101, but just like a brief overview of the Linux like keyboard mouse stack. So Linux input handling allows you to do more stuff. It is more featureful. For example, on Windows, you cannot emulate controllers without kernel mode driver. It's just impossible to do on Windows. On Linux, you can do it in user space. That's just one of the examples, right? Plus, Linux handles extended keys better, so numpad keys are way better on Linux than on Windows, because on Windows you need to handle this fucked up like extended key to know if you're pressing like left arrow or numpad 4, which fucking sucks. And on Linux it just happens seamlessly. On the other hand, if you're reading raw inputs, Windows gives you a nice low-level hooks that have automatic guardrails, so you can't like fucking lock up the system. And it has also built-in way, even though it doesn't always work to get like a key, code correctly and stuff like this. And on Linux, these things are kind of more convoluted. So I would say Windows input handling and Linux input handling, they're both rough, but in different aspects. Despite all of these levels of obstructions, left path incident, I mean, left path incident happened because of the levels of obstruction, not despite. So it was the reason for it to happen. You know what I mean? Turn some music on. Right, because web programmers, they don't know how to pad their strings. I mean, it's kind of impossible to do, right? It's an unsolved problem of computer science, padding your string. So naturally you need a library for it. Actually, I said that, but I am not sure if I can write left pad, like first try, like one shot it. It'll probably take me like an hour to write like a robust implementation, If I decide to just do it right now. I'm not gonna do it, by the way. But yeah, I'm gonna comment corners for now. And also this, immediate quotes, let me remove it. And I don't need to do this anymore. Let me maybe cut this out of the function so it's nice and fits into a screen, and key cap corner experiment. Could you turn the music down? Oh yeah, sure. Wait, what do you mean give yourself 5 minutes? I mean, yeah, I can like poop it out, but I am just pretty sure, I mean, I'll just like, pretty sure I'm gonna make some mistakes if I just try to one-shot it. Especially when we were talking about manual memory management language, I'll probably just like fuck up some some memory allocation and stuff. I mean, in JavaScript, I'm pretty sure I can one-shot it, but... Anyway. Did not pass unit testing. What? Oh, these are comments. By the way, you see how compiler complained about something that was if-def out? So if 0... so compile time if in Jai is a little bit different than compile time if from C. It doesn't require the code to type check, but it does require it to be syntactically correct. So you can't just like here. You see? Even though this code isn't getting like put into the program, it still gets parsed. Yeah, I think it's it's an alright key. I tried to draw like a fancy corners here to give it a little bit more volume, but I think this is a start, right? We can start from here. Do we all agree? Why doesn't require to be? I mean, you specifically usually like if def something out when you like don't need it. It's kind of a middle ground between if def, between the compile time if in C, where you can literally put anything here, right? And then the code here becomes like straight up invalid, like syntactically and stuff. And you know, something that has to type check. It's just like a middle ground. So now what I want to do is not just write a key, but I want to kind of lay them out. Maybe 6 of them. Or maybe 3 and 3. Like 3 and 3. Something like this. Or maybe do like 4 and 4. Maybe 5 and 5. Huh. Huh. Yeah, you don't need types to create AST. That's a nice way to put it. You're fucked if someone changed the compiler option. Not sure what you mean, the compiler option. Ah, you mean this? If somebody changed this? Yeah, but I mean, people often just put some things for reference, you know. You would usually only do this for experiments. Hello, Abu. Welcome to the stream. We are working on Hitboxer, which is this program. It is a key remapper. And I'm adding like debug, input display, and stuff like this. You can learn about it more here. Alright, so let's like draw inputs window. And I'll probably have like a static array of maybe 10 of these. Then I would like when you type them, they would just literally circle. That's the current idea. And so rectangle right, so let me think about array. Excuse me. So we have display logs somewhere here. Yeah, there you go, display log. These are for displaying string logs. And we could have something similar for displaying, excuse me, for displaying key codes. Yeah, let me, these are kind of sort of somewhat global. Let me pull those out and put them So I need to rearrange this file a little bit. It's 17, almost 1700 lines of code. I need to kind of like rearrange it a little bit. It's fine. So display log and then inputs. Hey Phoenix, hello. A inputs log. It's like 10 of what? Like key press. Something like this. Again, Jai parser, the one that I wrote with regex is a little wonky. You see, it doesn't highlight this as a type unless I do this. Now it does think it's a type because this is a fucking scaftas regex I wrote in Emacs. Well, anyway, and what key press is gonna be? Device type, mapping by. Also, I have some experiments here, yeah. I guess let's put it on the profile. So key press is gonna be something like, well, it is a struct, right? But struct of what? So it is a key, it will have a key code. So a code, which I think it's U32. I'm pretty sure it's U32. And a timestamp. Like Apollo time, I would guess. So it's 102-bit integer. Maybe this is a bit too rough, right? I have in timestamps like this. It could also just be like seconds since need, honestly. But I kind of use timestamp in a logger, so it's honestly whatever. So it's a timestamp in the code. Yeah, and so it is kind of a dilemma here. So I can just have a 10 of these as a buffer, like a circling buffer. And then as I type a bunch of them, I will just kind of continuously increment and then mod around, right? I can have a different approach. I can have just like a static array of all possible buttons. Like how many of those can be, like 200. And it's if me being like generous, right? And then each index into this array is a key code. Unlock 250 bonus bits every 10 gifted subs. $2 for 50. Insane. Hey Tool. Hey Mario, hello. Bad chesting! Give me money! Hey viewer! Pew 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 pew! Hey Lisik, hello. Right, so we can have just like an array of these. We can also have a static array of like 200 of these, and literally iterate over 200 keys and see sort of which of them is pressed. Or maybe like sort. No, sorting them doesn't make any fucking sense. It is independent of the stop environment because it reads directly from event like device file descriptors. So you have to be in input group or run it under like sudo. But yeah, let's just have this. Let's have those like 10 of these. Let's start like this. Let's start. So and now when I display inputs, I can do four inputs log. So key name is a get key name, and we do it.code. So I have platform dependent procedure that's implemented for Windows and Linux that literally gets key code, and in Linux it defers to libxkb common that handles keyboard layout and stuff like that. And I have some special cases for numpad keys like in these motherfuckers. Right. And on Windows, it uses just something like get key name txw. This is kind of an unreliable way to get key name on Windows because it depends on the keyboard firmware, and a lot of firmwares, they just don't have a full list of these keys. So sometimes, for example, when I switch to Russian, I would try to get some key name and it would return me Latin or like English, right? So it's not super reliable, but it works. I would say it works like 60% of the time. It works every time. That's what I mean. Anyway, and now I need to somewhat like offset the key rectangle. So let's do like rect. So we get a name, we pass a name here. So how do we offset rectangle? Let me also simplify these. It's gonna be just height and width. DT, I actually don't really need it, to be honest. Same here. So let's compress it down a little bit. Right. So X. Let's start from somewhat like top. Nice to find more Emacs people. Yeah, well, I'm using Emacs, but I can't say I'm a big fan. I would be happy to switch, but I just haven't found the right thing to switch to. Soon to be extinct race. Come on, I'm just like barely pushing mid-30s. Not that old. Anyway, so how do I lay those out? So it needs to be like 5 in the top row, 5 in the bottom row. Yeah. I'm pushing my mid-30s, like I'm 33 years old now. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not, it's, you know, my prime is past and all that. It's a bit too mind-numbing as something different. Hell yeah. Right, so let's do base rectangle. This is a rectangle of my sub-window log, like this one. So let's say I want to lay out 5 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like and 5, like here. And then I want another 5 below 4 and 5. So let me start maybe with like 10 off. So like kind of this. How long have you been programming? Are you asking me or Lisek? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Lisek? Is it Lisset? Me? Actually, remember I asked you. It was like Lisek. So yeah, me, I actually don't program that long. I don't know, like 10 years. Maybe a little bit longer, like 11 years. I started very late. Like I didn't have computer until I turned 13. And after that, I just didn't know that programming exists. You know, I just like, I would play game and I would think, how do people make games? And for some reason I thought that people do it in 3D, like modeling. I thought that games were made in like 3ds Max or some shit. So I just didn't know, like, oh, that you can program games. And so I only kind of learned about, you know, programming and how it all works in university. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, I'm a late starter. I haven't started programming until, like, I haven't started to really like learn programming until 22, 23. So yeah, like I of course I did some like little basic in high school, but it didn't really register for me that it's some kind of a programming. For me, it just was, oh, informatics, right? You type in basic letters, you get like text on the screen. So to me, it was never like connected, right? It's just, yeah, I just type. I didn't even understand what I'm doing. I just knew if I type these letters, I will get this result. So even the concept of a for loop was, I just didn't understand the context of a for loop. I literally like knew that if I type 4 and then a bunch of like numbers, I would get those numbers in like sequence. And only in university I kind of realized, oh, this is programming. You can write code. And to make games, people type code into computer. Wow, I was like 18 years old. Yeah, I was 18 years. That's why actually I remember this feeling, right? Because a lot of people who I know, oh, I started programming at 4 years old because my father was programmer, right? And they don't even remember how it is to learn programming. But I remember the feeling when you finally, like when the for loop clicks in your brain. All because I started very late. Wait a second. Okay, it's nothing burger. Oh no, I mean people don't remember how they started. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, so you know they would be like 13 years old, and they would already program for like 6 years. Some of them they don't even remember, because that's how brain works. And so to them, they would program as long as they live. It's the same as you don't remember how you learn to walk. Same kind of shit. Which is actually a fun fact. Did you know that kids don't really learn to walk? Did you know that? That humans actually know how to walk right since birth. It's like a reflex. So you don't learn how to walk. Walk, yeah. Yeah, they can walk right from the start. It's just they don't have enough strength in their muscles to hold their weight. And so as soon as baby legs start like growing stronger, they instantly try to stand up because they just naturally know how to do it. And I remember when I just became a father, I was thinking, oh, so you need to teach your kid how to walk. How do you even do that, right? And then like, how do you even teach somebody how to fucking walk? Well, it turns out you don't. You don't teach them that. They it just happens naturally on its own. Yeah. You compared it to learn to ride a bike. Yeah, I guess you can do that. Humans are most incapable being in terms of surviving when they're born. Yeah. A few other animals like polar bears are also like super incapable of surviving on their own when they're just born. But yeah, humans are notorious. It's all because our brains. All because of the brain. Maybe not all, but I think most of it because of the brain. So, I'm in a very yappy mood today, and I actually noticed that when I'm super tired after work, when I'm like forcing myself to go live, I just yap because it's hard for me to focus. But then I become so tired that I can't even yap anymore, and then I can start coding again. Web dev and AI slope. This is right. Apes are more capable of surviving compared to humans, no? Yes, apes are more capable. I'm pretty sure you're right. I'm pretty sure you're right. So rect.x is gonna be base rx plus like 10. It's gonna be plus 10 times its index. And it's index mod 5. Mod 5, yeah. I can actually just... And y is gonna be y also plus 10, and ith index so in this case it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you it's also after 5, but then y needs to switch. Oh no. Yeah, y is gonna be this, and then y needs to jump by height and by mod 5. Yeah. So it's gonna be ith index mod 5 plus. Wait, not plus. Like, it looks like I want to have times here. Yeah, so this actually doesn't change. No. So y doesn't change here. It's like plus. Oh yeah, okay, I understand. So it's plus height times ith index mod 5. So I think this is it, right? So this is gonna be 0. Right? It's gonna be 0. And it's gonna be 0. Yeah, so let me walk through each index. So at 0, so the first button, x should be here, and y should be here. So it's gonna be x plus 10, and y also plus 10. 10 is like our padding. And this should be 1, and this should be 1. So it's like ith index plus 1. Right, because so you have 1 mod 5 is 1, then you have like 2, right? You have 3, you have like 4, and you have 0 here. So I need to handle that. No. So this is like base, and this needs to be like plus width times. Yeah, so I don't need this plus 1. I need that. Yeah, so this is the base, and then this will gonna be 0 at first, then it's gonna be width times blah blah blah. Nice, yeah. I will add the padding here again, like plus 10, but I want to look at the result first before I add padding. And same for y. So what we need to do is first it's gonna be just plus 10, so this. Ooh. And then this should actually be the same exact number for the first 5. So it needs to be exactly the same number for the first 5. So this can't really be a mod. It should be more like, so it's like plus height times so this is like something that increments every 5, right? How do you do something that increments every 5? So it's like it index divided by... It index divided by 5, yeah. Like this. Because we have integer division, right? So 0 divided by 5 is 0. 1 divided by 5 is 0. 2 divided by 5 is 0, right? And 4 divided by 5 is 0. And then you have 5 divided by 5 is 1. And this is where we add the height. So I think that's what we do. And then we just do width and height. And this will be scuffed because I also need to add padding, but I want to just check how it looks like first. And I don't really have anything here, right? It's just this. So let me... did I fuck it up? I did not, surprisingly. In index, it's it index. There you go, look at this, beautiful, right? You can even say I first tried it. So now... Actually, I can add a bunch more here. So it's... I can add 3 rows. Huh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like 6, 7, 8. 8. We can add like 8. Let's add some padding here. And with... How do I add padding in between those? Like you draw... And then I guess you do... like times 1.1? Is this how you do it? Can I do it like this? Wait, what? Oh, yeah. So... yeah, this won't really work. It needs to be... I guess plus 10. I can probably do something like this. Oh, fuck. It's gotta be plus 10 outside of parens, like that. This just offsets the start of them. Yeah, because I don't want to offset the first. I only want to offset upcoming ones. I can have like a running gap. If you check for, it might act weirdly where it sets the number. No, it should be fine. Yeah, as you can see, it's always like an integer division, so it's pretty safe here. Like in Jai, you don't have this weird situation where, you know, like dividing something turns it into a float, so it always stays as an integer. Yeah, it kind of looks like the proper keycaps. I'm unironically like surprised that it looks pretty decent, you know what I mean? So do I just kind of give up and go for just like go for running padding? I don't really want to do it. Could it be something like times? Again, something crazy like this. Well, it added them here. Yeah, I did the same thing as here. So, let me think a second. So how do I add a like left margin here? So it should be 10 like plus. Okay. I know. The rect should also be right. So I do like rect x, we do this. We draw, and then we do rect that x 10. That's it. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, I need to fix this. Yeah, I will fix this. I know where it breaks. Wait, why doesn't it work? Because I need to remove this. Ah, shit. So I do this and then I reset it back here. So we can also do it like that. And then here so you draw this and then you do rect that x plus equals with yeah, you do rect that x plus equals width plus 10. And then you do rect that y plus equals height times it index divided by 5. So I think y just stays as it was. Woo! Oh yeah. because this never wrapped around. Yeah. So we do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you need to drop it like back to x, back to this. X plus equals yeah, like just let's be lazy, right? So if it index equals 0, then you just do rect that x equals. I failed at branch-free math, chat. Will you ever forgive me? Hey Baker, what's up? I think you should all unfollow and unsubscribe from me. Immediately. Go to software and game dev category. find a vibe coder and watch him instead, because he's smarter than me. That's branched math, yeah. Well, almost. uh, 5, then we drop this. Yeah, yes, Y should be again. Someone asked for a 5. Hey Zane, welcome. We do not discriminate here, okay? The only people who gets discriminated here is me. No, we don't. Do not hate wipe coders. Hate companies that gaslight wipe coders into believing that these tools can actually write code. I come from a country with a very strong propaganda, and these companies, they are propaganda. They use all of the text, all of the tools from propaganda textbooks and all that stuff. And front ends. No, we don't discriminate against front ends. Front end is very hard. Hey, Limit Smash, welcome to the stream. That's, you know what this is? This is like first time chatter energy. Yes. Like, you know, Casey Muratori, he sometimes says that if you learn CSS, you can easily learn assembly. This is actually not a joke, this is real. Web spec is extremely fucking complicated, like extremely complicated. If you've mastered Flexbox model, then you can easily learn x86 assembler. I tell you. Plus equals height times index divided by 5. How is this? 6 divided by 5. Why is this adding more height? So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then this has 1, 5, then 6. Oh. It's not plus equals. This is equals. Wait, what? Me no understand. Height times. So this is it's because this is like it becomes 0. And then it becomes 1 and goes here, I guess. So I guess this works. This works for Y then. Yeah, this works for Y, but doesn't work for X. So we have Y branchless, but we don't have X branchless. Yes, if you know Flexbox, you can learn x86 assembly. That's what I was saying. I'm not joking, by the way. if you have enough mental capacity to hold all of this stupid like flex grow, justify content, like align self, if you have mental capacity to hold all this bullshit in your brain, assembly will be a piece of cake for you. After Macromedia Dreamweaver, I decided web dev is not for me, and we could use as many GIF buttons as we wanted. I actually know what Macromedia Dreamweaver is, even though in 2003 I wasn't programming. Hey Narim, hello, welcome to the stream. Damn, a lot of first-time chatters today. I wonder, did Twitch put me on the front page or what happened? How did you guys find my stream? Anyway, yeah. Hello, welcome everyone. Base plus 10 plus height. Well, we can do something like y plus equals 10. Then it's gonna be a little bit scuffed. It's gonna be plus 1. Oh god, what happened? Oh, I blocked it again. Shit. Well, this becomes kind of like an issue, so maybe I should just 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it doesn't. Interesting. It eats. It's one of the buttons, like the first one. Was checking for streams and saw your glorious beard. Holy shit. And I thought about cutting it. I almost did a brutal mistake. Almost made a brutal mistake. -1 viewer. No! Excuse me. Ripperonis, yes. How do I add padding here? But it's gotta be something here. So this is the base one. I need to add height. So I need to add height, it index, and plus 10. But only... Oh, so we can do this. Like if it index. So we can do this. So that will work. It's like super bad, but yeah, this is like brain dead, but it is what it is. Like it works. Actually, it should be a little bit more. It should be like 11. Because this upper part, well, nah, it's fine. It's fine. Let's leave it at that. But why is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Why is it only 9? Wait, why is it only 9? Huh? The fuck? Am I drawing them on top of each other somehow? No? So I guess I'm making a mistake and printing two of them on top of each other somehow. So which would those be? Ah. So yeah, you see. So we can probably have this. Because we probably don't even need to do that in this case. Yeah, and I guess we don't need to do this. So we do that. Then we just do that. Then we draw. What the fuck is this? What did I do? New GNOME UI, yeah. Wait, what did I do? This is correct. Then y is base plus height times int index. Oh. Yeah. I accidentally removed these. Yeah, I shouldn't have removed those. There you have it, yeah. Now it's all correct. Yeah, sorry. Because original rect is an area of this, like, fuck me. Original rect is an area of, bro. I know you don't like that, dude. So the original rect is this entire area. So by removing this, I was making all of my buttons this size, and then was laying them on top of each other. Why is this so loud? There you have it. Sorry for the loud music. And I guess I can have another row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's do 15 of those. Yeah, we can have like 15. We can actually have like 3 more here. So plus 9 is gonna be like 24. Well, but then we need to... So plus 3 is gonna be 8. Right. Something like this. Yeah. So we can have this. It's probably too much, right? I mean, whatever, like, fuck it. Let's leave this. And now I need to fill the array. Let's go to Linux. Where's the log? Where is the log? There you have it. There's the log. So let me remove debug and just always do it unconditionally. We can actually make it runtime debug. I mean, fuck it. So what's gonna happen is log input press. And the only thing we do is we add key code. That's literally it. Anything else? Interesting error message. Input event, device removed, simply forward, keyboard event. That's probably fine. So I can log both presses and releases. I can actually probably do press and release when I log it like this. Yeah, let me... So key press, it's gonna be input event. Code, it's like key code, state is gonna be like pressed or released. I have like this, just two is up, is down. I don't think I even use them anywhere. Oh shit, I actually do. Well, rip. And I even use this down, damn. Insane. I literally use this up is down. Well, yeah, because I didn't make it into an enum because they are not an enum in Linux in like input events. They're literally just numbers. So there was no reason for me to do it. Right. But if I use it as a struct, I should probably make it an enum. Right, like e state. What was it again? Where's the sensitive, please? Wait. Where's... Oh, this is the wrong input. Huh? Where's input.h? Where is input struct defined? Huh? Bunch of IOCTLs, input mask, key map entry, ID. Ah, it's input event. It's not just input. I am sorry. I thought it's just input. Code is U16, value S32. Huh, okay. So let's do it. Let's do S32. For some reason it's S32. Let's turn back the case. And now it's not gonna compile anymore. Oh. Yeah, of course, because state, and it's not gonna compile because code is not a member of input event. Huh? Alright, because it's key code now. And now I can do is down, is up. Now I should have to do like key state dot is down. And I'm pretty sure I will have to do X exit all over. Yeah, it's not all over the place. I need to like X exit. Ooh. And for those of you who are new to the stream, XX in Jai means autocast. You see here, I'm casting explicitly to U16. And this, here I just say cast the type on the right to whatever type on the left expects. Type on the left expects S32. My type on the right is enum, which under the hood is S32. But Jai doesn't let you implicitly cast enum to numbers. So you must cast them explicitly. So I can either say like cast S32, this will work, or I can just say autocast. All right. Lock key event. And here I can do this where key code equals key, state equals. I think I can do just XX state. Because this returns an integer. I am pretty sure this is just an integer. Oh, it is not. Huh. So libinput has enum, but the kernel doesn't. Logical state might not represent the physical state of the key. You know why? This is because of the faulty device drivers. libinput under the hood has a bunch of like driver quirks which tries to fix like chatty keys and all this crap. And that's probably why they give this disclaimer. Hey Olban, autocast seems like a kind of nice feature. In Odin there is the same thing, but it's typed autocast, where we're both done just doing the cast normally. Yeah, see. Yeah, there are situations where autocast is completely free. Not free, like safe. When you know that the target type is always bigger, or when you know that the types are always compatible, or maybe when you like cast to and from like void pointer, you know, this kind of stuff. There are definitely situations where you can just bro, just fuck you, just give me what I need, right? You can argue, oh, but what if like type on the left changes, right? What if this is like 64-bit integer, but then we go to optimize this into like 32-bit integer and somehow this is like bigger. You know what happens if it's bigger in Jai? It will actually yell at you. Even if you autocast it from S64 to 62, it will tell you that, oh, you can't do this because type don't fit. And then you will need to add force. Or like trunk. Or there's, I think, there's like no check. So even autocasts are safe in Jai. Lock key event, because we don't have lock key event. But what if I do XX force in the type changes? Damn, can't argue with that. Hey Sonia, hello, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. This actually, you might laugh, but this is a very often situation that happens in web dev. So you know, I mean, you know TypeScript, and when you use TypeScript, especially with some crazy like libraries that go into insane type masturbation like Effect.js or React has a lot of type masturbation. React has it for a good reason because DOM is very dynamic. And so sometimes you get in a situation where typing out correct type annotation is just straight up impossible because JavaScript under the hood is so dynamic, it just doesn't make sense to type it out. And so what happens in a lot of code, people just get complacent to do like foo.bar as the in C. Like if you just get some X11 code and port it from C to Jai, I think even if I recall correct, I might be mistaken, but I was porting some libx11 code and you have to retype some macros by hand. And it literally not compile in Jai because of how libx11 just nilly-willy casted integers to each other. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me that this would be a feature. Where would I put this thing? Key state, input event. Let's just put it here. And this is my way to do static in Jai, right? In C, you would just do like static int, like slot, and then you would do like slot plus plus, right? So you don't have static in Jai, so I just kind of put an integer here. You can sort of have it with a macro, but it's not worth it. So a log event and inputs log event slot mod inputs log count equals event. Static local, no, it doesn't have it. It doesn't have them, you know. Hey Raken, hello. What's up? I think this is all I need. I declared. Wait, what? Ah, it's log input event, sorry. Heavy on parallelization and static local vars. Yes. There's resistant. Because I know maybe if you really want it, you can add it on the context, right? You can just do something like you can add something like that. Now it's a thread local, and you can have like right. So if you really want, but in my case, so I can do this, but in my case, this will get written only from. It will only get read from another thread. With that said, I now realize that since my event input actually probably doesn't fit into a register, can you get like torn reads? If you like read a struct while something else is like writing a struct into the same slot? Can on x86 you read like half of the struct and then like another half of the struct, you know, from overridden memory? Is this like possible? Because if I check atomic read, it will just do this in atomics module. Right, and there's a comment where he says, I'm not sure about that. Graphic, the theme is EF Dream from EF Themes package, but it's like customized. So I should probably add a command for this or something like that. So it's from this EF Dream, but I had some like customization to the color scheme. Yeah, so this gets written from input handling thread, and it is read from main thread that renders UI. Is it possible that we read half written struct somehow? Yeah, I need to learn how this sort of cross-thread, like atomic read writes work in this architecture. I mean, potentially in some point in the future, I would want to have this program working on Mac, and then you have different kinds of processors, CPUs that work in a different way. So, but I don't really want to put a mutex around it, because I really don't want my input handling thread to block, because the goal of this program is to be as like invisible in terms of input lag as possible. That's why I read inputs from almost directly from the kernel. I go through libinput, right? But there's a reason to do that. You could read timestamp in one thread, and another thread could write timestamp. Then key code, and the first thread read the key code from the second thread write. Yeah. Yeah. I can go through my Luger library to do that actually. So I have a separate module that handles multi-threaded logging, and there I have like an arena per thread. So each thread just logs into its own arena, and then there's a consumer thread that accumulates these arenas. And then it's kind of like a single point where it pushes all the logs down. I can do something like that. I can just shovel these key codes through the same exact mechanism, and then it will be thread safe. But then, I mean, it should probably be safe. It will maybe be safe. So if it's like in cache. Oh no. But caches, they are per thread, right? Yeah, I honestly, I just don't know anything about it. Single 64-bit value read-write, as long as it's within a single cache lane. You wouldn't read like that. Yeah, I know that for numbers, for like 64-bit values, I know this is true. But what about, 128 plus 32 plus 32, so 64 plus 128. What about these? This is probably not in a cache lane. Or how big cache lanes are. Yeah, those reads could be non-atomic. I mean, technically, like, this is one of those things where it will probably be fine 99% of the time, because I read these inputs like 60 times a second, and this thread will write like how fast can you mash keys, right? I mean, come on. Oh, I actually don't need state. Do I need state? As in, you might read low 64 bits of Apollo time and then different high of Apollo time. Yeah. I understand what you mean. So let me write it. So it is to read half of the struct. Maybe pass it through the looker. So maybe I'll just do this. Yeah, so whatever, I'm not gonna bother doing it now. And I also realized that if I log both presses and releases, press and release will land in a different slot instead of like updating the state of the same key. So maybe my initial idea with having array index to be like a key code, you know. So on Linux, input.jai, you have only so many keys, right? So when we talk about keys, you have, and this is already like key traditional sonar, right? Like, come on, where's the key FN? Where's the key max? It's like, yeah, key max. So you have this many keys, 2FF. How much is that? It's 767 keys. So I can create a static array of 767 keys, but then I need to iterate over an entire array in my display log. Well, I can sort the array every time I read. I can sort it by the timestamp, and then I don't need to iterate over all of them. But also a lot of them is just, what the fuck is button trigger happy? Like, what is this? What the fuck is this? Is this some kind of like butt plug? Gamepads and joysticks. What is button trigger happy? Where the range was added. These events appear to just be generic joystick events for devices with more than 16 buttons. Okay, so not quite butt plugs. 2010. Handle joysticks with large number of buttons. Okay. Well, you look more triggered than happy. Yes, sturdy pose. Trigger happy failed. Yeah, this is like, I hate this when I have like analysis paralysis. So yeah, let me, if state equals let me again take a look at this fucking enum. Key state that pressed. Yeah. Let's for now do this. Let's not bother ourselves with state. For now, let's just do the simplest possible thing. Right, so we'll just log shit here. Oh, look at this. So this says no symbol, and it's actually health check. And you see, so it now, oh, why it only writes the first one? Oh, right, because I don't increment it. There you have it. And now, right, this is our input, debug input. Look at this. Sometimes it prints no symbol, right? Because, ooh, the fuck is this? Excuse me for VS Code flashbang. This is my debugger. Wait, let me switch color scheme. I always forget to do it. Color theme. Yeah, there you go. Right, so I should filter out no symbol. But it works, you see? It works, it's pretty cool that it works. I should probably have something like more intelligent here than caps_lock. Okay, nice. I need to filter. Actually, I can't straight up filter health check event because, yeah, here, right? Because I actually need health check to go through the system. So health check key. This is available only on Linux. Well, let's do it. And key not equals health check key. Let's just not pass it to the log. So yeah, I guess that's it. Kind of like that. Yeah. Here you see it doesn't register here, right? Because my render thread is sleeping, so I need to wake up the main thread. Platform wake up main thread. I need to call this log input event. This is what I need to do. Let me recompile it. And now if I do it here, you see we wake up main thread, even if we type outside in some other window, right? It's like my main window isn't focused at all, so I can do this. And yeah, I probably need to handle like keyboard layout change in the XKB when it comes to getting input keys, but this works. Now maybe let's raise it up or something. Well, also I need to do like timestamp. How do you get the timestamp? Visit tags. Fuck you. How do I set it? Current time consensus. There you have it. Current time consensus. So event. So we copy it here, e dot time consensus, and then we do e. So I do this because this gets passed maybe by reference, and so it is immutable. So I need to create a local copy and then then assign timestamp. Excuse me. Right. And now what we can do is we can apply some kind of a like flashing event when you type the button, and then with DT it would like pulsate back. So I guess now we can open the UI again. We can remove this comment. DT, you probably don't really need DT. Let me think. So current time. Then we have it that timestampy. So now we need to subtract from current time and timestamp. So it's like time delta equals, let's call it now. I'm a web monkey, and literally every web language has now. Let me channel some of my inner web ape, web caveman. I know, yes. I have race condition in my logger that nukes sometimes just hard locks my log consumer. Or this is actually producer. This is a producer of the main thread gets locked up. Sometimes I know even how to fix it. I just don't want to do it now. Yeah, this still works. And so I want to add a flash effect. And I sort of have it in my arrows. Look at this beautiful code. Holy shit. This looks like a gun. Does it look like a gun to you? You know what I mean? You know, Can I get American citizenship, please, right now? Because I think this is a subliminal message in my code base. Where is my God-given right, Keikuna? Yeah. I was telling the other day that I'm not a big fan of aligning the code, but in this case, it's very hard to reason about these fucking triangles because they have 3 vertices, right? So you have 1, 2, 3 vertices, and then 3 color vectors. Niflag, I am developing a key remapping program. So it looks like this, and you can, map caps lock to control globally. You can also have different ways of remapping keys, right? You can have opposite, so they kind of override each other on press. Can cancel each other too. It's stuff that gamers use all the time. You can also have profiles for different games. For example, if I would have had a game open right now, we would detect it here. You could click on it and add profile just for the game. So this is kind of the vibe the program has. And now I'm working on input display. So I can log what keys are pressed. Something like this. So I just program this stuff, and now I want to raise it up a little bit. What's your Linux OS? It is Arch with Sway and Alacrity. Casual keylogger. I guess you can say so, yeah. You can say so, but I mean, come on. What can you really steal from a Linux user? Dot files? Come on. Bruh. Yeah, the only reason why I use Sway is because I had work in i3 config. That's the only reason. I know how to destroy Arch users. Man, Arch users have suffered enough. But yeah, so why am I even going here? Man, I'm so tired. It's not self-harm. I'm just waking myself up. Self-harm is actually banned on Twitch. With that said, I'm programming desktop applications for Linux. I think this is against US. Something to encrypt dot files at rest because people keep putting stuff in there. Man. The fuck? Why would you encrypt dot files? What are you hiding in your bash RC? To make the arrows pulsate and so this is what we have. So I need to lerp. Oh, I need to lerp surface color and like flash color between. Yeah, so I need to lerp based on the flash like flash strength. Like, so for example, so rect key name, key theme, and so key theme is a button theme. Oh, you know what? I just realized this. I can set oh no, it is on state. Sorry, so never mind. I thought I would set a factor on a theme, but the factor is on the state actually. So flash, I guess it's down duration. Yeah. Or like press factor, something like that. Anyway, what we can do is we can just like pressed factor equals time delta. And this is where we have like pressed factor is, oh, time delta, like float, like S64, I guess. So I need to convert it in like seconds. Apollo 2. Let me convert Apollo to seconds. Apollo time, calendar, convert to Apollo, seconds to Apollo, milliseconds. I need the opposite way. Oh yeah, 2 seconds. Yes, this is what I need. Oh, but it would be fucking... It will just be 0. So milliseconds. So what my goal is, I get a time delta between now and when the button was pressed, and I will use this time delta to lerp between the flash color and the color that it has when it's just kind of, the regular color. It's rite of passage for entering into cybersecurity. Wait, what did I miss in the chat? Lerp, derp, skirp, slurp. Are you working somewhere or is it just a hobby for you? This is a hobby project. This is my recreational programming project. And I am working, I have a full-time job, right? I'm like well, I normally work as a consultant, like software, like web dev consultant, but at this point I'm kind of working for the same company, like, so I guess I'm a like full-time employee. Well, I still have a B2B contract, but I only have one client, so I like work 8 hours a day for the same company. Hey Nuno, hello, welcome. I watched your podcast with Vukash. It was very cool. It took me 3 days to get through it. No. The company is in a different country, by the way, so it's all good. They pay me money, I pay taxes. It's all white, it's all fair square. Excuse me. And yeah. Thank you, Baker, for answering. Apollo time is 128-bit time value, which has its 0 time at Apollo. Yes. All correct. Did you like the demo? Yeah. I really like the demo. And I can imagine that for people who are not really familiar with... I mean, why would people who are not familiar with version control watch it in the first place? But I guess for people who are not familiar with where you're coming from, some of the demo might have been like confusing. And I've read the comments, some people like, oh, I still don't understand the difference between like a shelf and a commit. Oh, he didn't like branches, but he still like do branches, this kind of stuff, which is understandable confusion. Are you talking? No, I'm talking to Nuno. He's not phone sopped in the Twitch chat. Being edgy? I mean, you just need some kind of a time reference that's not gonna like overflow in a couple of years. So why don't take Apollo time? Might as well. Nobody talks to YouTube chat. I mean, I like reading comments, especially under technical videos. Sometimes there are some gems. But yeah, I quite enjoyed the podcast. Yeah, Mom. You were talking about bad air quality in Poland, and it's actually very relatable. It's same in Serbia. Yeah, I got mentioned in it. I got like jump scared. It's like, oh, like, Jai is scary because I've seen some of Valigo's, yeah, like boom, like wine boom sounds in my brain. Like, what? What'd you say? Like, back. Oh, you were talking about metaprogramming. Yeah. So you were talking about bad air quality in Poland, and it's the same in Serbia. During winter, they start... Well, the majority of my neighborhood using gas, but there are a couple like private houses, just like regular houses, that they still warm with like wood and coal. And sometimes wind is like unfortunate, so it gets into my room and it's like I have an air filter. I actually have two of them in my apartment. The fuck, sturdy pose. You okay? In small towns, people still burning trash. Well, I'm living in second biggest city of Serbia. So here it depends. It depends on the neighborhood. Some neighborhood are like fully gas. You don't even smell anything. In my neighbor, there are literally like a couple, like three, maybe three houses that still don't have gas, and you would feel those. And also, since like people on Balkans, like Serbs and whatnot, they really like their heat. They can't handle any like temperature below like 20 degrees, so they're starting fucking burning coal when it's really warm outside. So now, I mean, it's like what, like 12, 13 degrees outside, maybe 15. You can go outside with like a pants and a t-shirt. Why would you burn coal in this temperature? No, fucking cold. I mean, there are parts of Russia that are as hot as Serbia, but I'm from the north. There's a big rationale for Apollo time at the top of the file, but the big reason is that all the current time formats used in computers have always ended up having limitations and have ended up needing to be changed because they either don't have enough precision or don't have enough range. And Apollo time solves that by being very precise and having extreme range. Yes, yes. Yeah. Because it's aspirational. Aspirational, Baker, aspirational is too hard of a word for a regular, like, kind of brain-rotted, like, Zoomer. You need to use common language. You need to say edgy. Anyway, let's try milliseconds. Milliseconds is S64. Yeah. UI. Actually, I need to normalize. I'd probably normalize this between 0 to 1. So, rest factor equals 2 milliseconds time delta. I should probably like cast it to float and then like divide by like 1k by 1000 because it's milliseconds, right? To float 64 seconds. Oh, right? Do I? It's seconds though. Oh, but it has precision, right? So... Uh-huh. So you have 2 seconds. Do rounding false. Alright, let me check what 2 seconds does. Do rounding. If the rounding, if no... I just saw mask and then... Okay. Alright. Just spam skulls. No, skulls is more like Gen Alpha. Yes, it is a struct with two 64-bit, but there is actually... Ooh, there is actually a... Yeah, there is like this type S128 and U128. But compiler has a built-in type for this. So it's maybe for the future. Yeah. Let's use two S64 seconds then. To float 64 seconds. To float 64 seconds. Then I don't need to do that. And then I guess I can... If it's a second, then... How do I normalize it? I guess... So I need to have some kind of range. So I decide that the button is fully stopped when it hasn't been pressed for like 2 seconds. Let's say 2 seconds. So when time delta is 0, the button was like just pressed, like, Ugh! And then I let it cool down for 2 seconds. Yes, so 2000 milliseconds, or like 2 seconds. And so I guess I divide by 2. And then and it gets kind of clamped between 0 and 1. No, wait, if time delta is big, right? If, for example, it's like 4, you divide by 2, it's still like 2. I need to normalize. My god, my brain is so fried. Chat, help me. Help me. Well. Chat, am I cooked? Yeah, so... How do you fucking normalize number? I mean, I can just literally not care about anything that's above 1, above 1. So yeah, so you have divide by 2. This just gets us some kind of a number. Man, I'm so fried. I'm just literally blanking. So I want to clamp this delta between like 0 and 1. So yeah, what I'm doing from start. I have an input display. This is just to kind of, you know, log what buttons am I pressing, right? So it works. And what I want to do is I want to flash each one of them and then kind of smooth down the flash to get it back to a normal position. And I want to give it like a cooldown of 2 seconds. So it will lerp back to normal colors for 2 seconds and then stop. Kind of like this. I can have, you know, if more than 2, then otherwise. Oh yeah, I can just do this. I can just write an if else. The right, so press factor. Yeah, it is decrement the time, but decrement from what? Because so we have a lerp in math that I will just lerp between flash color and surface color. Where is it? Here. So where do I had lerp somewhere here. Oh yeah. So 1 second. Need to check that. Okay. So I can have surface color, rounded rectangle, surface frame. Yeah, and I can have something like surface color equals like lerp between what? Between theme, like flash. I forgot again. Surface color flash. And normal surface color. And then there's a factor. Factor is from 0 to 1. Yeah. And so when we just pressed something 0, it's gonna have this color. And then it would slowly lerp into this color. Right? And this color is when the time difference is 2 or more. Rest factor. This is different. Surface color and this. Yeah. No. Oh. Yeah, we can have like 2 minus this. I'm gonna clamp this motherfucker. Nah. So current time minus start time. That's what we have. We have time delta. Time delta divided by 2. So let me write it in the stupidest possible way. Flash pressed factor is 0. Right, so if time delta less than 2, then pressed factor equals like time delta divided by 2. Less or equal. Kind of like this. Just like divided by 2. And we post it like pressed factor. There you go. So something like that. Well, it's kind of the opposite, right? When it's 0, I want the flash. So it's 1 minus. Surface color. So it's kind of like 1 minus. Yes, it's kind of like this. And then pressed factor. Let's look at it. Wait, what? Bruh. Procedure did not call... what did they delete? Oh, bruh. Pressed factor equals number mismatch, type 1 is 64. Type given float. Yes, because it has to be float. Pressed factor 0.0. (64 bits into 34 bits). LORP accepts regular float, right? Like with vectors. Yeah, with vectors, it's a regular float. Can we have 2 float seconds? Can we have this? There's no 2 float seconds. Well, I guess when you cast from float 64 to float 32, is it something you can just do? Does it just lose precision and like that's it? Okay, thank you. Oh, look at this. First try. Oh. Yo. Oh. Damn, that's pretty cool. Let me... well, first of all, I need frame color to do the same with the frame color. Frame color and surface. And then I probably need to do the same thing. Oh, you see? It stopped. It's because my main thread sleeps when the application is not in focus. So I need to set re-render timing. You see, like I'm rendering when I press the button, I wake up the main thread. But I need to keep re-rendering as long as the press factor is not 0. I have like need to re-render. And this is literally on my global program state. Damn. So if pressed factor yeah, it's either I either need to make like a flash little saddle, or I need to change key color as well, like flash the key color too, or sorry, key name too, yeah. I'm struggling. All right, yeah, so now let me unfocus it. Yeah, look at this. And it's like, ooh, oh, stop rendering. Ooh, stop rendering. So this is like a little debug indicator. I only draw it in debug builds, and it pulsates when the UI re-renders. You see, so I'm dragging my mouse across the UI to renders. I stop my mouse, it doesn't re-render anymore. I actually stole this idea from Ryan Fleury. He has this thing in RAD debugger. He like draws it in debug build, I guess, when he debugs like, you know, UI re-renders. Hey Sijin, hello, hello. What do you mean skill issue? I literally first try and everything. Fuck you. I mean, welcome, hello there. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool way to see when your UI re-renders. Ooh. To see what it does. I see. Yeah. So one thing I can do, well, technically, well, when I like hold the button, I guess I can just keep it flashed. So then when I like release the button, it can start. But I don't think it's that big of a deal. That's pretty cool. Woo. And when I draw text, let me actually... Where do I draw text? Oh, label. So label theme. Label theme actually has a text color. It has a font effects, text color, right? Yeah, it has a text color, which I guess 1111 means all white, as far as I'm concerned. And we can also lerp it. We can lerp it from 0 to 1. How about this? So theme is a pointer. Yeah, so let's do label label. Is this how it's label? Label theme equals theme label theme, and you can do this because button actually contains its label theme, right? So wait, am I stupid? No, there you go. So button actually subtyping on the label theme, so we can do that. Oh, it has using, so I can literally just have text color. No, because I'm gonna pass this as a pointer here. So let me grab the entire theme. Label theme. And then label theme text color equals lerp. We are lerping between, so like a normal color, right? So text color equals label. Why are my fingers, why do my fingers really insist on doing label? Color, and then we're gonna set it back. Text color equals to text color, and I guess something like and pressed, something like this. You have the same problem? Abe, oh shit, you're right. Yes, you're you're absolutely, I can't unironically say you're absolutely right anymore. This phrase is forever ruined by me. Not by me, for me. I actually have the same thing with word use. I can't just type use. My fingers just do that. Like I just I'm trying to type use and I just type user. I just cannot type use, yeah. Damn. Yeah, that's absolutely the thing. That's absolutely the reason. Oh. Yeah, so having black keys doesn't really... Wait, does it? Like, kind of shit, right? I mean, for once, I need a bigger font. Actually, maybe not. Like, the font is alright. Especially if I start pressing buttons like space, they barely fit. Well, control doesn't fit like at all. It should be like CTRL. Oh yeah, and you actually don't even see if it's control right or control left. I should probably... maybe, you know, special case it, just like I do with numpads. Escape, backspace. The way like production ready system does it is, instead of doing this bullshit, well, you can do it for text logging, but the way people usually do it is, because none of the operating system I think has reliable way to get it, they would have their own like texture atlas with like shift sign, like tab, you know, like two arrows, with all of the like enter kind of like arrow, and they would just spread this texture over the rectangle. That's how like big boys do it. I can probably do it myself, do it too, but for now, let's maybe control. No. Oh, control. It's actually not here. Is it CTRL? Yeah. So key left control. So we can go like here, case, key, left, CTRL, we just do... like this, like that. Right, control, something like this. Bruh, what the fuck? Current Mr. Render. How did I... Any semicolons? Now... Huh? Still control B. Why doesn't it work? Huh, why didn't it work, I wonder? Is there any like other? No, key, left control key, right control. Oh. Bruh. Need to return. Now, yeah, Control L, it barely fits. What color should we put here? Maybe like red? So RGBA, so it's gonna be like 0.4 or something. Wait, does it even work? Does it even? Oh, I mean, it kind of flashes a little bit. So this is all white. This is all black. I know, what would be like a good color there? Like a good text color? Well, first of all, let me maybe grab this font at slightly bigger size. So, input. So what 600 is here? So 600 is here is supposed to be window height, but now it's like 800. So never mind me. Well, 600 times DPI and like 16, so it's a bit bigger. And then inputs, font, the same exact thing. Font at size, hack regular, and input side. And then I need, well, first it's here, and then I need to do it as a dynamic font. Like this. And then I can pass it here. Not log font, but rather... Oh. Do I use it here? Oh yeah, I just use it here. So doing log font, Oh, I didn't even do log font here. Yeah, I don't. Do I put it here somewhere? I only set alignment. Well, okay. Key theme font equals to inputs font. Ooh, look at this. Look how big those letters are. And now space doesn't fit. Control wouldn't fit either. Maybe log font was all right. Gotta go. Yeah, bye bye, Nuno. Thanks for stopping by. See you. Nah, log font is kind of small. Maybe header font. Header font. So this one is bold, actually. So yeah, maybe not header, maybe not separate inputs, but times 20. So the same as header. the same size as header. Oh no, I broke it again. Every time this happens, I have to kill the process through SSH because one like my logger thread, my main thread logger producer blocks infinitely, and since it grabbed my inputs, I can't use my keyboard. Well, I can kill compilation in Emacs with mouse, but it's easier to do it through SSH from my laptop. Yeah, probably just do this. No, I'm not using Xorg. This is Sway, so it's Wayland on Sway. But I am grabbing my keyboard with like IOCTL, so yeah. This program only works if your user is a part of an input group, or sudo also works. So yeah, because otherwise it's gonna be impossible to do it on Wayland, right? So we go as low level as we can, and this is the price. But I have a health check in place. I create like another virtual keyboard to which I send a fake key code that's like out of range every 5 seconds. And if this key code doesn't come around in like 5 seconds from my event handling loop, then I ungrab everything. So this is my kind of safety net. Void def counter. Yeah, I know about it. Yeah, I remember void def counter. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. On X11, you can grab keys globally, but it's more convoluted for sure than doing it just from ifdef handle. And yeah, I have to do this health check because otherwise, there is no facility in Linux to stop me from doing it. And Windows actually is better in this regard because Windows lets you do low-level keyboard hooks that let you grab, not really grab, but read and write keyboard and mouse events globally. And it has built-in safety net in a sense that if your low-level keyboard hook blocks for more than certain amount of milliseconds, that is configured in registry, and by default, I think it's like, I think it's half a second by default. I don't remember exactly. Then Windows will just discard your hook automatically. So you don't have a chance to completely lock the system on Windows with that. So it's like a little bit safer. Yeah. Let's maybe do cooldown like 1 second. I think 2 is a bit too much. Yeah, 2 is a bit too much. 1 second is more than enough. Jai Beraki. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, screenshot this. Say you spent 30,000 channel points in Valigo stream. DM this to John on Twitter. And I just get blocked. uh, so what would be a good like contrast key for this? Probably not. I did not even apply. Makes no sense. I see. Uh, RGB, maybe bluish. Let's do it like this. Am I even doing it correctly? Oh yeah, I do. So it's blue. Uh, well, the issue is kind of that it lerps sort of together, and there are some intermediate state, like intermediate colors, where it's kind of hard to see the button. You know what I mean? You. It's like, ooh. Yeah, so it's like, oh, what the fuck is this? This whole time I was editing text file in Emacs. Emacs. I can also just completely erase these buttons from the view, but you probably want to look at the history of your buttons. Hmm. Huh. Maybe add like red together. But well, red and blue is kind of a green, so it's not really that good. Maybe just R. This is slightly, at least to my eyes, this is slightly better. To have them like flash in red. So I think maybe flash colors should be less less brutal. So I think the issue is actually like flash color, not even the button color. So maybe we use not flash, maybe we use like over. Because over is slightly less intrusive. Yeah, like that. What do you think? Oh, you know what? Another issue I just realized. But when I just press, the button text becomes different. It kind of becomes like fully black. Why would it becomes fully black though when it has this rule? And then it kind of goes here. Is it because press factor is over 1 somehow? Maybe it doesn't make so it's a 0 if it's less or equal than 1. We do 1 minus time delta. Yeah, so we kind of invert it. So when press factor is 1, it's kind of maximally pressed. But yeah, you see it first, it kind of just completely disintegrates. Does it like completely disintegrate? It feels like the... You know what we can also do? So we can frame, we can do this, but we can, like, just not touch surface color at all. And then we cannot do this. We can just don't do this. What do we think about it? Ah, I know what happens. Because we override the button, it probably maybe there's a brief period when we put like a texture here. Maybe it has like a frame of a delay or something. So maybe there's like a frame or so when there is no, like, texture here, and it only like appears next frame. Maybe something like that. The only way to debug this is bust out RenderDoc, to be honest. But I kind of like this. When you only flash the frame. It's kind of yellowish, so maybe I would use surface color flash. Yeah. And maybe. Ooh, I think that's better. I like this greenish more. But I'm overall like a green person than yellow person. What do you think? Matrix. Ooh. Yeah, I like it. And we can like raise it up later, but I would definitely say the experiment is successful. Hell yeah. The only quadratic color schemes. What do you mean, to Bob? Hello, welcome to the stream. Ooh. Purple and green is quadratic. Ah, I see. Ah, because this color scheme, it's kind of a little bit purplish. So yeah, I understand what you mean. So this, the purpose of this view is to be kind of like a debug one, right? And I think that maybe I can fade out the like text itself, maybe has like a certain. Ooh. For colors that are very spaced on the color wheel to form a square. I see. Yeah, I like this. I'm gonna keep that. Overall, this whole UI is kind of like something I hacked together. In my mind, it's still very temporary, but at the same time, it has some sort of usability. Well, this drop down is awful. Like, drop down colors here are awful. They just don't fit. It don't fit anywhere. But it is what it is, right? Yeah. Actually, first let me do 1 second of cooldown. Second, I need to remove this experiment. I think I don't need it. My keycaps look pretty all right without. I wanted to draw like some corners here to give it, a bit more volume. But I mean, it already kind of looks like a keycap, so I don't think it's necessary. Jai kind of looks like Pascal. Uh, Probably because of this, I guess. What would be the other difference? Or not difference, similarity. Listen like this. No, like. I don't know. Uh, yeah, let me remove this lerp and also get key name. So maybe I just don't return anything if it's key reserved because this triple dot might be like a bit confusing. Maybe. Yeah. With elements of C++. Yeah, I see. Gonna hit the pillow. Yeah, have a good night, Phoenix. I'm actually uh also gonna deep. Let me commit. Every time I open every time I open Magit and even at work and I'm like comedian, I'm like, okay, it's pushy committee. What can I say? I'm a very impressionable young man. Input debug view. It's all right. You're also got impressed with like BitConnect and stuff. Can you imagine? It's like weird ass generation where there was some very like niche and short-lived meme like 10 years ago, and it one-shotted so many people from that generation. It's like not you alone. Uh, I guess blame PewDiePie or something. Uh, but yeah, with this said, I think I think generational brain rot. Yeah, I think I'm probably gotta fix a race condition in my logger, um, and maybe then I will be like more comfortable in pushing it on Linux, just releasing it on Linux. Well, there's like one caveat. I'm using EGL plus XCB, and there are a few people that run on relatively kind of old graphics driver, maybe like relatively old GPU from like 4 or 5 years ago, where this combination doesn't work very well. So maybe I bite the bullet and implement GLX backend first, because it's gonna be easier than doing like software rendered one, because all of the like OpenGL stuff is already in place. So yeah, we'll think about it. First, logger race condition, then we'll see if we can make life a little bit easier for some of the unfortunate people. But yeah, with that said, let's find someone to raid maybe. Let's maybe find someone to raid. So yeah, if you watch on YouTube, feel free to jump on the Twitch chat for the raid. Anyone is raiding, anyone is streaming right now. Software and game dev, maybe some. I can raid Olex, kind of like an easy target, but we raided him a lot recently, so maybe there's somebody else. Yeah, thank you for hanging out. Uh, it's very hard to find someone to raid at this time. Oh, working on 2D gaming, Jai. Dandy McGee is streaming. Holy shit. He does like a lot of work on Jai as well, like iProf and whatnot. I contributed some stuff. The fuck is happening? So rate him. Yeah, and thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate the company. I will see you. I don't know if I'm gonna stream tomorrow. Tomorrow's kind of a family day, right? Halloween and blah blah blah. Like my daughter was super excited about it. So maybe I will be too exhausted, but maybe not. Maybe it's actually fine. So yeah, I'll keep you posted on all this regular, all this usual stuff. Anyway, yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Bye bye. Have a good night.